Yo, what up, guys? Brodie Nero here. Welcome to BrodieNeroTV. Back with epic podcasts, DJ sets, new music, exclusive interviews. It's only here on YouTube for now. 2025. Let's rock. I'm here with my bro, Tayllor. We're in Bali. What's happening, bro?
Everything is amazing. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here. We have 1 hour here to talk about many things, I guess. So thank you again for the invitation.
Yeah, of course, bro. Man, my pleasure, honestly. And to let everybody know, like, it's a pretty crazy weekend. We're somehow still alive right now after 2 days of missed fish pumping with our festival. We had Vanko on Friday. We featured Tayllor last night. He burned it down. You had a 2 hour slot. He played for 3. He wanted to keep going. How was the missed fish experience, bro? Because I'm really passionate with this project, as we were discussing on the car over here. My heart is really invested in this venue and everything that we're building and stuff. So I always appreciate getting feedback from artists that come here and play the venue.
It was a really nice, really beautiful night. I really enjoyed it playing there. The vibe is crazy vibe, to be honest. I didn't expect to be that good in such a small place. I really enjoyed it. And obviously I wanted to play more and even more, but I was feeling bad for the other guy. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. The 3 hours I played, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a really nice experience for me. And to be honest, the crowd was, I didn't expect to be that reacting to the music. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, man, I want to talk about this music thing for a minute because I think I've said it to you twice now. I said it to you while you were playing, and I said it on the car ride here to the studio. Like, I swear to God, every other ID had your name in the ID, meaning you either did a rework or an edit or something like that. And I want to touch on two things. So I've done like almost 30 podcasts now, and I had one guest that said it's so important for DJs to have exclusive music, because if, just making an example, an opening DJ plays all the top 10 beatport, right, and all the hit songs, what do you as a DJ have that nobody else has? And then I also interviewed the twins, who are from Mexico, and they said this thing that they thought, like, well, we're from Mexico and we're being flown to Asia every year because why? They said they're flying us because of the music we play. So when we know that someone's flying us across the world, we want to give them something special and unique. So all that being said, again, last night, like, no lie, 3 hours, it was like, it wasn't a Tayllor release every other song, but it was like a Tayllor remix or edit or something like that. So could you talk a bit about the importance of having exclusive music that nobody else has, and why it's so important to you to have all of your own edits and remixes and stuff?
Yeah, that's correct. I would say 60% of the music was mine, and the other 40% was edits of mine.
Yeah.
Well, I feel responsible for my work, for the crowd that they will hear me. I feel responsible that I have to deliver something more unique, or something unique, at least for the crowd. It's very important for me to, whenever I travel and play, to have the crowd to have an experience sort of different from other people. And how you can do this? You either need to do acrobatics or
Yeah.
make different music,
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I usually edit my stuff. I do a lot of homework, which is very important for the set. A lot of preparation, and I always edit, let's say, the most hot tracks by the time, and putting my own sound on it, on every edit, and trying to deliver it in an even better version, or something to fit at least in my sets,
Yeah.
So I believe this is making the experience more unique, and what you hear in my set, you'll hear it in other people's sets, but in my own way.
Yeah.
This is something very important for me, I believe it works. I think so.
I think the crowd believes it works
And,
last night too.
I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy that you noticed, and you as a promoter and as a DJ in the Misfits, you notice that this guy had something unique to say, a story different from some other DJs.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And one thing that just came up for me now too is like, I don't want to pass judgment. I'll just say what I observe. Like a lot of times, super great producers are not as great a DJ, or super great DJs are not as great a producer. But in this case, we had the best of both worlds. Like you mixed and performed equally as well as you produced. Like they're both on a really high level. So I wanted to acknowledge you for that. And what I'd like to spend some time on too, because funny enough that we're talking about edits and stuff, like I have a personal goal after like hearing what other interview guests have said to me and witnessing you last night was like, I said, okay, by the end of June on my birthday, I want to have like 10 new reworks and edits ready to go and start playing. So it's like I've been spending time, like usually an hour or two each morning, Monday to Friday, just like grabbing acapellas from here, instrumentals from there, putting them together, seeing what works and stuff. So I wanted to know, I was curious, when you say you do your homework and prepare for these sets, what does that actually look like? Like if you could give us like really details, like are you blocking off like 3 or 4 hours per day to prepare for a gig? Half a day? Do you do it all in one day? Is it organic when you feel inspired? Or what's your workflow and process like?
Okay, so this is a very interesting question because obviously I don't do podcasts very often. So
Yeah.
you have the privilege.
Yeah.
Well,
Exclusive.
well, usually when I get back home, I take a day off. It's normal. You need to rest your ears. It's very important to rest your ears. But the very next day, I go to the studio. I usually wake up 8 in the morning, take my breakfast, my coffee. 9 o'clock, I will be in front of the PC. No excuses. Even if I have like dead inspiration, there is no inspiration at all, or there is nothing to work on it. I will open the PC. I will look into the music, new music, what is playing now, what is trending now. Trying to see what happened to my sets during the weekend, what worked, what doesn't work, which one of my productions sound good, which one didn't sound properly.
Yeah.
So I put all these things together and start working. Obviously, I usually spend like 3 to 4 hours on the studio daily.
Yeah.
Not daily, actually. It's like 3 to 4 days per week.
Okay.
And always trying to make my own thing, my own edits, even producing from scratch in some tracks.
Yeah.
Like let's say the very famous Say What from Kind Music, I did my own version. And I do this every day. Some things they work, some things that doesn't work. Obviously, this you understand with trying it out in the crowd. And this is actually the routine. I like spend 3-4 hours for 4 days a week preparing my stuff, my work. It's very important for you to deliver during the weekend.
Right.
So I think the most important thing is to have like a consistency in your work. That's what I do so far.
Yeah, man, I love it. It reminds me of this book. I've read it twice now. I just opened it again because I felt myself kind of out of that consistent routine with regards to production. It's called The War of Art, and the author's name is Stephen Pressfield, and he talks about this thing called resistance.
Yeah.
And resistance is this thing that like it's this force, it's self-inflicted. It's essentially self-sabotage when you distract yourself with other tasks instead of doing the main thing and focusing on. Even if you're being productive, you're still not doing the main thing you should focus on. And the thing that you said that stuck with me was that a lot of times I think we as creatives and artists use the excuse that if we don't feel inspiration, we don't sit down and do anything. But you said a super powerful point a couple minutes ago that after the coffee and the meal, you sit at the PC, inspiration or not, something to do or not, and you open it up. And that, how important is that consistency for your output?
It's the most important thing, to be honest.
Wow.
producing and editing and focusing on your work daily, it's you have to take it as a full-time job. This is my job, you know. And if someone book me for this amount of money in Bali or in Thailand or anywhere, I need to deliver, and I cannot go there and just okay. I have to play the top 10 music. I can't do that. I need to give something. You are one promoter that you appreciate that extra work that I put in the studio
Yeah.
on my set, and this is very relieving for me. You know, I feel that my job here is I did something really good.
Yeah.
So it's a motivation for me to keep doing it. It's
Amazing.
very important.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, amazing, bro. Cool. Speaking about job and your commitment and everything, so whenever I get ready for these interviews, I do a little bit of due diligence. I go on Beatport, look at releases. I go on Spotify, look at discography. And I was like, man, like I gotta know like a little bit about Tayllor before I sit down with the guy and try and have a conversation for an hour. So I'm like Googling, I'm like, where's the Tayllor bio? So I'm like, okay, I couldn't find anything online. I'm like, oh, there's always something on Spotify. So I go and I click the Spotify bio, and it says something like, "There's no bio here. If you want to,
Bios are boring.
bios
If you
are
don't-
boring.
If you want to know about me, stick around, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Listen to the music if you want to get to know me." I was like, "Oh my god!" Like here I am trying to get ready for a podcast, but then I thought this in itself is something to discuss. So, just for like myself to understand you a bit more, and I'm sure your fans are curious a little bit about your origin story and entry point into music specifically. Let's say, what was like I mean, let's talk about two moments. So the moment, I'm curious, the moment you said, I want to do music full time, I really want to make this a lifestyle and a career. And then also, what was maybe like something that happened earlier on in life that put you on a path to having a career in music?
Okay, so I came from a family that my father used to tell me that he couldn't believe that music is a thing that you can pay your bills. So my father used to tell me how this thing is really hard to pay your bills. You need to focus on a real-time job.
Heard that too.
But by the time I wanted to be a graphic designer and doing music in the same time, and actually the thing is that I started as a PR in a club, okay, and after a while, the club owner put me on the decks and so on. So my father used to tell me this: you can't do this forever, and music cannot pay your bills.
Right.
And I had to do another job in the same time when I was 21 or so, I think. So eventually I pushed a lot for this. I used to do two jobs, one in the morning and one in the night, playing music. And I grow up about with the music, and it came an opportunity where I moved in Dubai and made it a full-time job.
Okay.
So for me it was really hard at the beginning, because coming from a family with this kind of mentality, which they believe that you couldn't do the living with the music. You know, it was really hard, but always I was believed in myself, and and I put also a lot of work in the production after I started playing. So eventually we are here, and yeah, it was a really hard at the beginning, but if you really want something, nobody can tell you you can't do it. It's impossible to fail
Yeah.
if you really want something.
Yeah, love that, man. Love that. One thing that you mentioned there, and it seems to be a pretty consistent thing that comes up on my podcast, where there was a point where the artist, the DJ or producer had to leave their hometown or comfort zone. And you had mentioned jumping from Greece, or yeah, Greece, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Greece to Dubai. And that in itself, just that decision paralyzes people. The idea of it, that decision can paralyze people. What do you think was the catalyst or the thing that gave you the confidence or just the feeling in your gut to say, man, like maybe I'm nervous right now. I don't know what's on the other side of this jump, but I'm just going to go for it. Did you do any preparation? Like you said, okay, I'm going to save a bunch of money and then I'm going to go when it's the right amount and it's a safer time. Did you go because it was already a professional opportunity, or were you just like, man, I got to go, it's now or never type thing? Or what was that decision like?
so it was a decision it was very quick decision, to be honest. And I didn't hesitate to do it because I said, okay, if I don't do it now, I was 24. If I don't do it now, probably I'll never do it. So let's try out. I have nothing to lose. Let's move there and try a new experience. It was new experience for me. Coming from a small city, from Greece, because I was not in the capital, Athens. I was in a small city. And I said, okay, let's move on. Let's try out. Let's see what is happening. At the beginning, I had like 9-month contract with a company there as a resident DJ,
Nice.
and eventually we extended. So as I said, it was like an opportunity that I grabbed. It had a big impact to my career because I focused only in music. So I'm doing this thing that I told you before, waking up 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock and do 3-4 hours studio every day. This helped me a lot. It's like you go to the training every day, like,
Yeah.
and if you're following the scene, you understand what it needs and what is required to do to get into a good level. So that's what I was doing for the past like, let's say, until 2020, before the pandemic. I was doing this every day, consistency and working, music production. At the beginning, I started making EDF big room. After I moved to housey, more tech house, and eventually I found myself making Latin house and Afro house and this music that is right now hot. And I made all this thing with consistency, working every day in a daily basis, no excuses. That was the most important thing to achieve this.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. That's amazing work ethic. So yeah, since you brought that up, I want to talk a bit about, after analyzing um, the history on Spotify. So I saw from like 2016 to 2019, looks like 2020 was like the first Afro release.
Yeah.
And then from 2016 to 2020, like you said, it was like a bit more tech house, a little deeper, maybe a bit minimal,
Yeah.
completely different sound. And one thing that I saw actually, which I think is really inspiring, and maybe some people would overlook this, but for me is like, I'm really big into like mindset and motivation. So what I saw was, what, like your first couple of projects, you know how on Spotify, as soon as you hit 1,000 streams, the numbers start to populate. If it's under 1,000, nothing comes up.
Yeah.
And what I saw from the first couple projects was some of those projects are under 1,000. And when I point this out, bro, it's to point out something really positive here. I think that in a time where social media numbers and engagement, when we don't get it, it can be really defeating and make us feel like we're not making an impact. But if you look at your history, 2016, pumping out singles and projects, 2017, same thing, 2018, 2019, still going, and the numbers start to build. So I was curious, for those that are out there putting out music that aren't getting the numbers right now, what kept you motivated and inspired to keep producing and keep releasing, even though you weren't seeing the engagement and the results right away?
That's true. At the beginning, there was no streams. Nobody was listening to my music. And that was not something that could break me. I was I was loving what I was doing.
Mhm.
Maybe the music was not good. I don't know. But I was loving what I was doing. I was keep producing and making music. And eventually happened my tracks to stream. Now I have like 400,000 monthly listeners.
Almost 400,000 monthly listeners
Yeah.
on Spotify.
So
That's nuts.
it's a nice achievement.
Yes.
It can go bigger, I think.
Sure.
But the thing is that when you make music, you're not making music for streams or for other people to listen. You're making music always for yourself. This is the most important thing. And if it happens, the music through the years, if it happens, someone to some of the tracks or all of the tracks to get attention, it means that you're doing the right thing. So that's what happened. I was producing for like 4 or 5 years, and I had like 100,000 streams. I don't know. And eventually, we made it to millions of streams with producing consistency and hard work.
Yeah, love it, bro. Love it. Super inspiring. So as mentioned, from 2016 to 2019, it was a very different sound than what you're doing now, and even different from 2020 when you switched to the Afro sound. So I'm curious, what inspired that change to go from playing or creating a specific genre and then pivoting over to the Afro side?
The most inspirational thing for me was like I had a few DJs that I love. One is Pablo Fierro. The other one is Black Coffee. Obviously, he's the greatest, one of the best Afro house. And they were great inspiration for me, especially Pablo, because his sound is more techy, let's say. He inspired me a lot making music, especially with the Latin vibes. At the very beginning of my Afro house career, let's say, back to 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration back then. But now I evolved, I think, in some sort of different. I try to open different ways of producing and making music and evolving and progressing in the sound in general.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's very important to work with some sort of like, let's say, idols. Like I have my Pablo Ferris for me, my idol in Afro House, because I loved what he is doing, and I tried to be like him. And eventually I made it last year with him, and we are here in Club Chinois, and now we're working on the track together. It's my be released this year.
Manifestation.
Yeah, manifestation, exactly.
Wow, dude. That's so cool. That's so cool. I want to talk about a single that just came out, which is just like so mind-blowingly good, Bogart. And we talked a bit about it today at brunch. And for me, like, this song is just like hitting on all levels. So first of all, for the sake of, let's say, beatport purposes, you would maybe put it in Afro House category or Afro Tech or something like this. But for me, it encompasses a multitude of very trendy genres right now. So I think you executed it so brilliantly. It's unique, it's trendy, but not in a cheesy way. And it's just a powerful track. I mean, for me, again, it's got an obvious Afro presence. There's like some of the synths and stuff and the sounds in there remind me a bit of melodic, but then there's this kind of like indie groove.
Yeah.
And then you got this thing which just is so trendy right now, which is like the UK vocals on her, like the hip hop style vocals. Love that, bro. Man, I even like the artwork on that project so much.
This is not my part. This
No?
is not my part.
Fair enough, but you got to approve it, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm working with a marketing agency right now myself, and I sent it as a reference. I was like, man, this art is so sick. So all around the project is great. I'd love to know the inspiration behind that, because when we talk about electronic music, I mean, it's just, I've said it in previous episodes, like the sound is just constantly evolving. And what I love now is that you don't really have to put yourself in a box. Maybe on Beatport you do, because they have to put it in some sort of genre and category, but the way you can blend and cross over genres is it's just free for all. You can do whatever you want, and you did that so well with Bogart. So I was curious if you could tell us a bit about that project and what was your thought process behind that when you went into it and what you did with it all.
So it was a period of time that I was looking for vocals, and I was quite frustrated with some of the singers that I hired. They gave me back not a really good content to work with. So I was in Splice, you know, because the vocal is sampled from Splice, which I chopped and put it in the right order. So I was working with this, and I said, okay, I need to make something really strong for my sets right now because I feel that I need something like this. So I didn't work in a specific order because I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was trying to make something really powerful for the dance floor. So I came with this idea, pam 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 pam, so, which I translated to synths and drum syncopation. So it came out like this. After that, I worked a little bit with a melody. Yeah, it came like this, really strong. Of course, it's not Afro house. It's not Afro house track. It has some African element, let's say, but it's not Afro house track. We put it as an Afro house because if you put it in the Afro house genre, is getting more attention, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is bad or good, but it worked, and the track is doing really well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But there was no specific order or inspiration about this track.
Okay.
It was something that I said I will make something for the dance floor, really strong for my sets, and that's it.
Wow, nice, man. Yeah, it's powerful. I mean, I don't know what you call it, but that one loop, that dun 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 dun, like it's just like it's so impactful and unique. It's like unpredictable too. You don't expect it to come out, but it does. Man, I'm just thinking of like, I think one of the first songs I heard from you was maybe Vagabundo.
Yeah.
And I think I shared with you the other day over Instagram. I didn't even realize I made a rework with a Bob Marley vocal on Mr. Pablo. Played at Miss Fish a bunch of years ago. People go crazy for it. Out of all of your releases, if you had to pick one or two to say that like are your real favorites that you love to play, like for example, towards the end of your set last night, you played Vagabundo.
Yeah.
But out of your catalog of music, let's say specifically 2020 and after, sticking in the Afro and Latin vibes, what would you say a couple of your favorite releases are?
Oh, that's hard.
Mm.
I think the next one.
There's another one coming out?
There are a lot of coming out
Okay.
soon, but Vagabundo is definitely one that is in my heart. Is the track that I got the most attention of.
Okay.
Yeah, and a track that I released also in January, Baby V. It got massive attention. Pete Tong played it. I saw a couple of days before Mahmoud Khan also played it. With a lot of support. What else? I don't remember all the tracks. But Vagabundo, let's stick with this.
Yeah.
Vagabundo is a track that it brought me to the scene, let's say, because also charted number 2, or number 1 or number 2 in Beatport, I don't remember, for quite a long time, like 3-4 weeks. So it was like a big exposure for me back then. If people say that, you know, Beatport is not an exposure, it's wrong. It's big exposure, because if a track goes to top 10, resident DJs will buy it because they believe that the track obviously has some sort of hype.
Yeah.
And they will play it, and it will grow your fame, let's say. So I believe that Vagabundo did that for me. It was a really good and unique production by the time, because and still there is no track like Vagabundo produced again. Like the bass line, of course there are a lot of track with trumpets,
Yeah.
but the instrumental is very unique.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it's some sort of melodic and indie bass line. I don't know how to explain it, but
me neither actually. It's just
it's just unique.
yeah.
It's the track that I love most of mine.
Wow, amazing. Um, this leads me into a question that I like to ask too, which is, I guess you could categorize it as career defining moments, moments where you felt that your position in the industry was solidified. So for example, with maybe it's Vagabundo, but Vagabundo being such a impactful track, hitting the charts, great exposure, and moving your career forward. I don't know if it's that moment, or sometimes people tell me stories of they get an email or a phone call or a contract or a text, and they're like, whoa, something big happens. For you, what do you think is a moment that you've had in your career where you were like, man, like Tayllor's here and he's not going anywhere, like this is real now?
I don't know. I think there are some highlights that I love to say. Like, let's say when I make my first collab with like Mike, was like, bro, I made a collab with this guy. This guy is a superstar.
Yeah.
This guy is a pop star. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I was like, and the like 3-4 months after, he invited me to play in Ushuaia. I was like, I didn't know what to expect or what is happening, you know. And the very next year again the same. So there are like highlights like this. Making music with people like Mike, and playing in venues like Ushuaia, in Pasa, I played also in Cova Santa in Ibiza, in Club Chinois with Pablo Ferro, who, as I said before, is my idol for Afro House. It's something that I said, you're doing good job. You need to keep it up. This is a motivation, you know.
Yeah.
So I think this is the moments that I highlight the most for from my career so far.
Yeah, amazing, bro. One thing I wanted to ask before I forget too was a follow-up question to Bogart. When you again saying identifying how Bogart is like this multi-genre infused type of song, where do you see, like, how would you categorize your music now? Would you still call yourself an Afro house producer? Would you just say I'm a music producer of electronic music? And so how would you categorize that? And then also, where do you see your music going now after putting out a song like that that crosses over multiple genres?
The thing is that I don't like to put some sort of signs, let's say, for the type of music I make. I make music for, as I said, for myself first of all, for me to feel good and play in my sets, which is the most important thing for me. And after I make music for the people. So I think that I'm electronic music producer,
Nice.
or a house music producer.
Cool.
Because house is very universal, you know, and you can it's gonna be easier for you to move in some sort of sub genres about this house music, you know.
Yeah.
And but for the future, I think that I am aiming more to do more some sort of commercial, because that's what I need right now. Like, make more commercial music, because dance music is good, but you need to have it in your sets, you need to have it in your catalog, but you need also the commercial stuff. This is what will make you get more exposure and more gigs and so on. Like the remix that I make for My Neck, My Back was like an edit. But when Simone Vitolo heard it, he said to me, "What are you doing? Why are you releasing this track for free?" I told him, "I don't know. I just I just want to release a track for free."
Yeah.
No, remove it from from the SoundCloud, and I removed it instantly. And like 3 days after, he sent me an original acapella, and we made it as a cover. And the track went #2 in Beatport for like 3 months. I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to define my music, because I can make a lot of styles. I think that I'm blessed with the ability to make many styles of music. I understand what style of music requires, and I can make it. I feel confident with myself. Uh, but again, I don't know how to say what style is it, or what exactly genre is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's up to the people how they wanna say that it's Afro house. It's okay, it's Afro house. If they wanna say that it's house, I don't care.
Yeah.
If they like it, they love it. They like it.
Yeah, true, true. Leave it up for interpretation.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody. Cool, bro. So far in the conversation, we've used words like manifestation, blessed, self-belief, all of these things. And I always like to go spend a few minutes on this part of the interview just because it adds a bit of depth to it, and I'm huge into mindset, motivation, a bit of spirituality, if you will. When you think back of all these defining moments that you've mentioned, collaboration with like Mike, signing with Simone Vitullo, getting calls, playing in Ushuaia, IBIZA, all of this stuff, like hard work aside, these things happening don't happen for everybody, even if people work hard. They're like really true blessings, as you said. I was curious, bro, like when it comes to self belief, spirituality, all of this stuff, mindset, what's how do you carry yourself? What is your general state of mind on a day-to-day basis? Do you consider yourself religious or spiritual? Like, why do you think all of these cool things are manifesting in your life right now?
Um, I really don't know. I'm just thinking about it, like, for example, let's say that 2011 I went to Ibiza for a vacation with some of my best friends,
Yeah.
and accidentally we entered to Ushuaia. Accidentally. It was like 6 p.m. It was free entrance, and we went inside. Swedish House Mafia was playing around 10 o'clock, and before that was Dirty South and TV Rock. So they were playing. Already was like 1,000 people, 2,000 people, but Ushuaia fits like 5,000 people. So I said to my friends, I was playing music by the time,
Okay.
but I didn't really know what I want to do with my life, or if the music will pay the bills, because I was mentally from my father's thoughts, like she said to me. So I said, okay, this is a place that I would love to play one day. So I was on vacation, and 2023, I spoke with Mike after he supported a track of mine. He said to me, okay, I love your music, bro. He texted me on Instagram, I love your music, and I would like to make some music with you. I was looking at my phone, I was like, are you fucking joking to me right now? This is not happening. So, okay, let me know what you wanna do. Okay, let's do something like that. We made the first track, was Voices, released in Hurry Up Slowly, and I still can't believe that this guy texted me like this, and he said to me, bro, you need to collab. I mean, I was mentally, I'm always strong, trying to say that, you're doing good job. You always keep it up. There is no downs, only ups. But some things in life happen so fast that it takes you like a lot of time to realize that happened, and this is one of them. When I collab with him, and later on he invited me to play in Ushuaia, mind blowing. Even this year, I still can't believe that 16th of May I will go play in High Ibiza. It's crazy. And all this happening because I put myself uh, into a loop every day, working on the PC, consistency and focus. That's very simple.
Wow, you put yourself into a loop every day.
Every day.
Wow, man, it's an interesting word you used about loop, because I've heard it before used in different contexts where we're like, I don't know, like I'm chilling with a group of friends, and one friend that was with us, we've lost touch with them, and like I remember the other friend I was speaking to was like, man, he's just stuck in a loop of like bad behavior, and it always stuck on Brad. I was like, yeah, man, that's a bad loop, but you put yourself in a positive, productive loop.
Yeah.
Wow. So this moment, 2011, you're in Ushuaia,
Yeah.
and you're
For
seeing,
vacation.
yeah, for vacation. So you're seeing this happen, these big artists play, and was it just a moment that stuck with you and like a moment of inspiration? You're like, I'm gonna dedicate my life to this now. Was that kind of like the turning point, or is it just a memory you think that registered, or like what? How did that moment impact? Like, what did it do exactly?
It didn't actually. I didn't thought about it,
Mm.
but deep inside me, I believe that there is a chance for me one day to do an event here. I don't know how, and I didn't know how by the time, but it happened, and it was it's again mind blowing. But I didn't thought that I will make it when or how. I
Right.
just thought this is a place that I would love to play.
Yeah, wow. Man, it brings me back to like again, I get kind of nerdy on like some of this manifestation stuff and everything, and it's a common thing that I've read where they say uh when you have a dream, like you visualize it, you know what you want it to look like, and then you just let it go. You don't sit there and focus on it too much all the time, because if you do that, you start to feel a bit of a disconnect because it seems so far out. So it sounds like you did the right thing, maybe on a subconscious level, where you just saw this thing that really inspired you. It sat in the back of your brain. You let it go and you went about life and just started working.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Wow, dope.
It's the same thing also happened with Pablo Fierro. I sent him a demo for his label. He accepted the demo, and after a while he said to me, "Now you need to play for We Are Here in Club Chinois," which I obviously did. And eventually I met him in the airport the next day. He was traveling somewhere, I don't know.
Just by chance?
Yeah,
Just randomly?
but I didn't know that he was there. Like, oh, he said to me, Tayllor, come. We have a short talk, and we have a nice connection. You know, he's a really nice guy. He told me, I want to make a collab with you. I was like, okay, it's happening. It's happening. So we're working on the track right now. It's really cool. I need to finish it off, and it's all about positive thoughts, I think.
Yeah.
And also, you need to be a nice guy. It's very important. If you are a bad person and thinking negative and saying negative things about people, I don't think that it will work for you. But if you are positive and trying always to move on and do the next thing and what is good for you, I think that it will happen eventually.
Was the whole concept, it's funny you said nice guy, because I just remember I wanted to bring up, because we have a mutual friend, Corey Hall, in Dubai, and he was telling me about how about you, because I said you're coming here and everything, and he said, man, Taylor's such a nice dude and he works so hard. And when you say like nice guy, it sounds cliche, so simple, but it's more about positive mindset and being a good person. How did you acquire this mindset and this belief that this is how you need to be in life? Was it taught to you? Did you read a book? Did it just come to you, or?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be myself, you know. And this is very important also to be yourself, because if you are trying to pretend to be someone that you are not, most of the time it's like you're saying lies to the community, to the people outside. And I'm trying to be myself always. This is the thing. And as I explained you before in the car, that when we were coming here,
Yeah.
uh, instead of opening my circle right now, I'm making it even closer. And when you're closing your circle, you know with who you are dealing with. And dealing with less people is better, because you avoid all the negative energy from the others. And this works better, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I love that. One thing I want to ask, and this is a super personal question, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate. So, production requires undistracted focus, right? You really have to like block off time, put your phone on airplane mode. I've noticed if I try to do any sort of music production or anything while my phone's got notifications or Instagram, it just doesn't work. And what I've been trying to do lately is that like I literally can't turn, well, maybe if I have to like turn my phone on to check WhatsApp or something, but even still, like I've tried to arrange my schedule in a way that like if I don't have to look at my phone first thing in the morning for at least a few hours, I try to leave it off because I want to go in with a fresh mind, positive energy, no one affecting me, making me feel negative, and go into work on music. And it's like I honestly notice like, man, I love and I hate social media at the same time because there's a lot of times I'm scrolling on Instagram and I hear people playing great music. I can Shazam it and I've got new ideas, or I get inspired, or someone messages me and we get a crazy connection. But then there's the other side of social media where it's just absolutely time consuming. It absolutely can make you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, and it can be tough to manage this because it's like, it's like let's call it a beautiful chaos. It's beautiful in the sense that we have an abundance of connection to each other all over the world. We can market ourselves, get our product or our music out there, but at the same time, it's such a big open forum with so much stuff that it's like you can get lost and go down a path and waste hours of your day. All that being said, how are you able to maintain this productive loop, as you said, where you go in your focused time and still manage to put yourself out there on social media and keep it balanced? Do you struggle with that?
Not at all.
Wow.
Honestly, there is an option in the iPhone you put. It's called airplane mode.
Yeah.
You press.
I'm familiar.
Well, if you don't, it's very distracting to have open phone next to you.
Yeah.
I have it also in my PC, like have it on focus mode when I work on the PC, because otherwise you're gonna get distracted very easy. A friend of mine used to tell me, bro, it's so hard to focus working on my productions. I asked him why. Right now, for example, he said to me like, now, I was trying to make something, and friend of mine called me and he told me about his girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
Bro, put your phone in silent mode, or put it in your living room and just leave it for a few hours. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're not gonna die or something. Just focus on your work. It's your work. You need to do it. It's I think you need to have strong mentality and not be distracted from these kind of things if you wanna be to have a successful at least studio session.
Yeah.
If you have your phone all the time by your side, of course, the phone, if you, it will have notification, it will come all the time,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you need to just put on the side for a while and do your thing, and social media are not going anywhere. It's gonna be there forever. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So just to confirm or clarify, your production time is generally you feel most optimal first thing in the morning. You do it for a few hours, 3-4 days a week.
yes, usually yes. Okay, only if I have some sort of remix or side production to do for someone else. Only then I will work a little bit in the afternoon. But mostly for me, I work in the morning. And it's also you do it as a habit, like if you put your body working in a certain times, it's like your sleep, you know when you go to sleep and when when you will wake up. If you put yourself in this situation, I think you have better results. For me it works, so I do it.
Yeah, I love it. Great information for me, inspiring for me. I got something, and I'm sure people listening will get some.
So you need to have consistency. You say, okay, if you're a DJ and producer, there's no excuses. Wake up in the morning, just do you want to do morning, you want to do afternoon, no problem, but you have to set a time. Let's say 3 to 6, I need to work on this thing. Otherwise, if you don't work it for a day or two or a week, you're gonna forget what you did before. Like, let's say if you want to sound design, if I sound design one day, if I made the lead for Bogart, I made it. I didn't make it in one day. I made it in another project, and I use it in Bogart.
Okay.
So if I didn't do what I did a week before and didn't work all this week, I wouldn't put it there. You know what I mean? So it's very important to have, as I said, work every day and see what works and what doesn't work, so you won't forget what you did before. It's very important.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, great. This is perfect. It leads up into the last question I like to have every podcast. And I want to ask it a bit differently. So, firstly, I'm curious, you've dealt with like some super high level successful people in the industry. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten from either like a high level DJ or producer? Or what's like the most inspiring thing you saw them do? Advice or something inspiring you saw?
Mm, I don't know. I don't remember. I think the most inspiring was from Pablo in the airport. The conversation that we had, he said to me that you're doing a great job. You keep doing what you're doing, and nobody let you tell that you're doing something wrong. Like, you have your focus on what you're doing only. Don't let people break you in, like, oh, this hi-hat didn't work, this in this production didn't work, or this is not a good production. Don't let people tell you this kind of things. Just focus. Maybe, every production, let's say, or every set is unique, and maybe in some sets you will make a mistake, which is fine. You are a human being, and in some productions you haven't noticed something that is going wrong. So in either ways, you don't have to be upset or feel sad that happened. It's okay. Don't let people break you for a small detail and destroy the whole image for a detail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow.
So this is the advice that I got from Pablo in the airport, and it was, my mentality, it is like this anyways, but hearing it from a person like him, which is more established and more well known in the industry, is very, 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 very important.
Wow, wow. Amazing, bro. It's been such a nice conversation. I want to take a moment just to acknowledge you, man. I truly believe since the first tracks I heard from you that you really have a clear, distinguished sound and identity.
Thank you.
I think you're really carving your own path. And the beautiful thing about these interviews too, like I said, is that I have to look at, the history of an artist, and it's really cool to see your evolution. And as someone that, like, I often tell people I feel like I live a bit of a duality lifestyle as an artist too, because in Miss Fish, for example, it's very Afro inspired, and I also told you I have the melodic project, and I'm always like, man, like how I feel stuck going both ways right now. I'm still trying to find my way, and someone told me, like, it's not about picking whether you're an Afro house artist or a melodic techno artist. It's about you getting up every day and just creating what feels real to you. And maybe one week you're leaning more into Afro, and the next week you're leaning more into melodic. But it's as long as it's coming from you, and you're still trying to find your way. That's what's most important.
Yes, exactly. I feel that every person, every producer has his own touch in the music, and music is also a way to express yourself. So I believe that every time you produce, you're putting something from yourself into the tracks, into the songs. So every song will sound like you, but it will be different.
Right.
So your sound will be, I think the sound will be, usually will be the same, but in a different way of making, every time. So I don't know. This is the thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. It's just a matter of keeping it real, staying authentic, and doing what's pure and again real to you, and showing up every day, like you said, in that productive loop. Awesome, man. Well, again, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed Bali. And bro, 100% facts. We're bringing you back to Miss Fish because that set was insane. My last thing, I have to bless you with a gift. So we have a sponsor, Kenny Parker. I'm wearing their best-selling box cut tee right now. They wanted to hook you up. They heard Tayllor's coming through.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Check it out.
Can I open now?
Yeah, please.
Oh, wow.
So Kenny Parker's a cool brand from Australia. They're here in Bali now, doing great things.
Bro.
Yeah, nice
Really cool.
oversized tee.
I like the oversized t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, and of
Thank you so
course,
much,
we're
appreciate
DJs. Black and oversized baggy
Yes.
t-shirts is what we wear all day, every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Cool, man. Guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't done it yet, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out Tayllor on social media. Support the Spotify. Let's get him to 1 million listeners monthly. We'll see you in the next episode. Love.
Cheers. Thank you.